One more? Okay. Sir? Oh, you all set?
Yeah. Well, I gotta go back.
Okay.
Check, check.
Okay. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for joining us at the town meeting. I'm Mike Rambros, the President and CEO here. I want to welcome you all. Looks like we have a little bit of a light audience today, which is great. I'm hoping that means people are out walking, enjoying this nice weather in the middle of February, which is really nice break. So I'd like to ask Maria Lasala, our spiritual care coordinator, to come on up and open up the meeting.
I'm Maria Lasala, the spiritual care coordinator here at Whitney Center. It's always good to be with you as we gather together. This week we celebrate two important holidays. Well, perhaps they are more like special days than holidays. Tuesday was Valentine's Day, and tomorrow has been named National Random Acts of Kindness Day. The two go together, don't you think? One is about love, the other kind-heartedness. Just the first has gone commercial, though, with its greeting cards and chocolate candy, and I learned on Tuesday more red roses sold than any other day of the year. The other, well, how many of you have even heard that there is a Random Acts of Kindness Day? And what does that even mean? It would be hard to commercialize and impossible to sell the idea of practicing random acts of kindness. But it is certainly a value that we all understand, even if it will never be marked by Hallmark cards, specially shaped candy boxes, or bouquets of flowers. On a global scale, we have seen kindness dramatically enacted in response to the recent devastating earthquake that hit Turkey and Syria. People are sending money and other forms of aid to complete strangers in our shared effort to search for survivors and care for those living in the midst of the rubble. Those who pray have lifted their prayers daily, and at least for now, some of the political and religious divisions and tensions of the region have been put aside. We don't need to look across the globe to see random acts of kindness. Our own community at Whitney Center is filled with them. As we sit together, as we lift one another up, as we strive to see beauty in small things. The poet Maya Angelou reminds us that people will forget what you said. They will forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. I know it's easy to trivialize these made-up kinds of holidays, but have no doubt about it. Love is important for our well-being. And kindness, well, where would we be without kindness? I encourage you in these days and weeks to come to observe the ways we can all practice random acts of kindness. Keep an eye out for them. They are happening all around us. And when you see them or share them, allow a bit of joy to enter your day. I now invite you to pause with me as we remember those friends from our community who have passed away since our last town meeting together. Today, we remember Betsy Phillips, Ann Burrow, Thrive at Home members Beth Culler, Joel Silverman, and Whitney Center resident and Thrive member Constance LaPalambara. And just this morning, we learned of the death of Barbara Fusener. For their lives shared among us, we give thanks. And may our collective kindness spread to Beth's husband, Fred Morrison, and to Joseph LaPalambara. Thank you. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Maria. I'm going to ask Lynn Hawkins, where's up? President of the Residents Council, to come on up. I assume you have some, oh, great.
I would repeat who I am, except Mike just did it perfectly. As a fairly long-term resident of Whitney Center, going on 11 years, I could list things that have changed that I wish would go back the way they were, and other little complaints and things that we deal with all the time. But what I want to do is praise housekeeping every chance I get, because the laundry flooded on December 25th, and they all had to deal with getting all of the laundry done. I mean, think of the health center, sheets at least once a day, the towels in the pool, in the spa, in the salon, huge amounts of laundry. And they're doing it, running back and forth while being driven back and forth to outside laundromats and rotating their ways through the laundries, the public, should we call them? Laundries in the North Building. And they've done a fantastic job. And I have to name Debbie and Shirley because I see them in the pool almost every morning. I'm just, that's what I want to say this morning is just, wow, good job. And apparently they have about 2 more weeks to go on this rotation. So thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Hawkins. I appreciate that. My name is Ken Sandberg. I'm the Vice President of our Lifestyle Services, and I will call up the department heads in a moment. But I had them in a certain order, but I feel the need to bring Barbara up first because Barbara is the head of that department, and she's the one with other members that just jumped into action that day and really tried to make sure that that was seamless. So I'm going to call up Barbara first, who is our supervisor of our housekeeping department. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Barbara. I'm the supervisor for housekeeping, and like we heard before, we have some struggle with the laundry flood, and we have to go outside to just do the linen ready and all the stuff and do some personal clothes. So we have to go back and forward. We have to wash some personal stuff here. And to be honest, I'm very proud of my staff, very proud of the guys. They put everything in the truck. They work with the ladies. They come back. They make sure everything is done. So I'm very proud of them. They run more than an extra mile to make sure everything is done. They at this point, they come earliest to make sure they have everything done on time for all the residents. We are working right now to get all the staff we need for housekeeping. We have some openings for the next compacts, thanks God. We have everything, we have people on Compass to fill all those gaps. We are working to make all the priorities you have done. So if we have to cancel an apartment, we want to make sure, at least if you have, you need your bathrooms, your kitchens, or your trash out, feel free to send me a message. Feel free to send me an email. Contact us, and we're going to take care of you. It's not a problem. We are helping in the weekends too, to middle meals, to get the trash and stuff like that. So that's the things for housekeeping. And one quote we shared in housekeeping this week is, the secret of change is to focus on all your energy, not on fighting the old, but on building the new. So that's what housekeeping department is going to do in 2023, just building a new department and put all our energy to serve to you guys.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Zullo, and I head the Building Operations and Safety Department here at Whitney Center. I wanted to give a couple updates, one being on the laundry. As Mrs. Hawkins said, it is a couple weeks away from being fully functional, but we're making really good progress on it. The sheetrock's going up, and it's being pretty much rebuilt as we speak. There's people down there working on there. So it's been making good progress. Also, the South Tower elevator, that's been down for quite a while. The state elevator inspector is actually here today. So hopefully everything goes well and we can be fully functional, within the next couple days before the weekend. That's the goal. I had a question on everybody's door locks. So everybody, no matter what building you're in, you have the same front door lock that has a deadbolt. There was concern that if it's deadbolted from the inside, that we would not be able to access it from the outside if there was an emergency or if you hit your pendant or something like that. Our key cards would be able to disengage that if necessary in emergency purposes. There's multiple people across multiple departments that have that capability, so I want everybody to feel safe about that you can absolutely use your deadbolt if it makes you feel safer inside your department, your apartment, and we can access that if we need to. And the last thing I wanted to bring up is the vestibule phones. I had a couple questions on, those call the security department. They actually do go to the security phone line. If nobody is in that office, they do go to our radios. So you can get somebody 24/7. Just because it rings and nobody picks up, it only rings twice before it'll actually go to a radio so that you can actually talk to somebody and, have them help you with whatever you need. Are there any questions? Yep. We'll get you a microphone.
I don't have a question, but I have a compliment for you, something a little different. And for the nearly 10 years that we've lived here, we've had trouble with a leak. We live on the ground floor and have a patio. A leak from the terrace, which I always thought was directly above us. That apartment is not occupied. And has always been, sometimes so strongly that they had to call the fire department because it was the
Sprinkler head.
yeah, go ahead. At any rate, all these years, we've been struggling with that. And then along comes Dan, and he goes upstairs and not only checks the fire sprinkler above us, but went up the whole line and down. And tightened things and all, and we haven't had any trouble whatsoever. So I'm giving you a big hug.
I appreciate it. That comes with unfortunate experience, that you know what to look for in those kinds of situations that I'm glad we have, but I wish we didn't have to have. So, yes.
You mentioned the elevator in the south end of the north building, which was down for about 3 weeks, and then it operated for about 2 days, and I see it's down again. Why is it down again?
The inspector is here today. So the company who replaced parts on it is here with the inspector going over everything that they did.
But it still operates. In other words, it doesn't need, as far as we know, it does not need more work on it.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll call up Melissa DeGrand.
Hello, good morning. I'm Melissa DeGrand, Resident Services Manager. I oversee transportation and reception. Couple updates from the reception team. First, I would like to inform everyone of our newest team member that just joined our reception team. Her name is Octavia Ricks, so if you see her around, please give her a warm welcome. Shopping carts and luggage carts. Couple updates. I had some of my information wrong from last time, so I just wanted to repoint those out. So some of our maintenance team was a big help with us with locating all the broken carts and was able to fix what they can fix, and whatever they couldn't fix, we took out of use. So we're all set on that. Also, our shopping cart locations are, let me go over those again, are the south entrance by the admin office, actually right through that door. You could grab at the south. The north entrance closet, and, which I did not know this at first, but the north parking lot entrance underneath the stairwell, there's a couple carts underneath there for anybody that parks over at the north bringing in groceries. They'll be underneath there. Also, obviously, if you use a shopping cart, please return it in a timely manner because everybody uses them and we all use them. So thank you on that. And they should never be, carts should never be left in your apartment too. Just try to bring them back in a timely manner. Deliveries and groceries. Just want to go over the packages. If you're going to return a package to UPS or FedEx, we do have a specific area in our package room now. You can drop off your package at the north or south desk and we'll get it to the right location. The reception team will get it to the location where it needs to go for UPS or FedEx to pick up. And also remember when you're ordering your groceries or any type of from a third party like Instacart, Peapod, please write in that note, please deliver to your apartment and not to the north reception desk or the south reception desk. Let's see, and now on to transportation. I know we had a question from resident council about Meadow Mills, and we all know we want to see our loved ones and our friends at Meadow Mills. So if you need a ride, please call the transportation line and book your ride over there. We will drop off and pick up when necessary. Okay? Just bear with us if, as we're trying to book and trying to fit you in for the time you want to go over. Okay? Our program currently runs Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. And just try to be mindful of the 48-hour notice, but if not, we'll try to accommodate as best as we can. And that's all I got. Any questions? Yeah, wait, we're gonna get you a mic.
Thank you. If you need a lift somewhere, you call the desk, or is there another number?
You would call the transportation line, and it does ring to the desk, yes.
Okay, and that's listed in, Okay,
In your directory, yep.
very good. Thank
Mhm.
you.
Any other questions? No? Okay, thank you. I'm going to call up Thomas Hudson, Director of Dining Services. Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. All right. My act of kindness will be, I'm going to be brief. Just a couple things to share this morning. As I said in our last town hall meeting that we were going to start a series of meetings to discuss the dining plan going forward, we had a very interesting meeting at our dining committee on Tuesday. It's a lot of information, and I feel that the group that we had received it well. We had a lot of questions, we had a bit of dialogue and conversation. Having said that, the next plan is to move that to the wider community. So what I'd like everyone to do is to look out during probably early next week. There'll be a schedule coming out for the particular days and times and places. It'll have all the details about where to sign up and how to sign up, so we can have schedule these meetings out probably over the next 2 weeks. I am attempting to get them done over the next 2 weeks, so going into the early part of March, we can start to see some steps forward in the plan. I'm looking forward to seeing as many people as possible, and I'm going to make room for as many residents in this community as possible. I'd really like to get in front of you, with you, so we can not just share what our plans are, but to get your feedback and have your input in what we're doing and how we're going forward. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm looking forward to seeing that happen. So please sign up, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, come to the meetings so that the information is not found on the main street and in talking. It's straight from my mouth to your ears. And hopefully we can make that happen. All right? The next thing I'd like to talk about is there's always questions about where we are with our staffing. And I just want to share that our staffing levels are connected to a lot of the plans we have. And I want you all to know and believe that we are putting in a very strong effort right now with our staffing. I'm hoping to be in a very good place by the beginning of March. When we finish this month, we should be in a much better place than we started the year for sure. We have quite a few people in the pipeline that we'd like to join our team. So you will see some new faces. As we asked before, please welcome them. Let them know that you're glad to have them here. Their presence is really an important part of our movement forward. And that's pretty much what I have today. I'm going to reserve the time because I'm looking forward to these detailed meetings that we're going to have that will cover pretty much everything to do with dining. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all there. So unless there is a specific or particular question, I will take my leave. Yes, yes, ma'am. 1 second, let's get you a mic so I can hear your voice.
Okay, Mr. Hudson,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you for you to being here. But where are those meetings going to take place?
The schedule will tell you that.
Oh, so I have to wait until the
Yes, it's-
schedule.
The schedule the information I'm going to put out next week is
Okay.
going to have all the details. How you sign up, where the meeting is, everything that you need to know.
Thank you, sir.
Okay? No problem. Anything else? All right. Well, thank you so much. Have a great day and week. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Maria.
Thank you, sir. Chivalry is not yet dead. It's so nice. How is everybody this morning? Great. Well, I'm Maria Freda, and I'm happy to serve as your Community Engagement Coordinator. And a warm welcome. I don't know if we welcomed anybody new today, did we? Okay, but in our hearts. And we know there are people coming, right? Marketing, so we'll welcome them next time. As Whitney Center's Community Engagement Coordinator, my job is to enhance the already robust calendar of programming created by the resident committees and my colleagues with additional experiences that are enjoyable, engaging, and culturally stimulating. My vision is to provide you with the best opportunities that bring out the best in you, because when we do, we are golden. Those opportunities can range from trips to musicals on the shoreline, to the museum downtown, to an on-campus, and yes, events, and even a game of bingo. And by the way, we've got fabulous prizes, and I see smiling faces who can attest to that, so be there this afternoon at 1:30. Be right here. And as you can see, offering something for everyone is what makes Whitney Center a place of welcomed belonging. As February winds down, we have 2 off-campus subscription events. On February 24th, Philharmonia with Samuel Hollister, and the Onepo series with So Percussion on Tuesday, February 28th, both at 7:30 p.m. To eliminate extra emails and to use less paper, I have sent out emails for what I have on file as those residents and Thrive at Home members who are attending the concerts. Going forward, I'll be sending out one confirmation roster the day before the concert. And forgive me, because I know I'm always sending out so many emails to everyone, reconfirming and confirming. But I do ask that those of you who do hold tickets, please, you know where I live, so let me know as well, just to take ownership of your plans. And please be aware of your tickets and the plans. And this process will also apply to the Saturday Met Live performances. And I should add that this whole process is only for those residents and Thrive at Home members who intend to take Whitney Center transportation. If you're going on your own, enjoy the show. I don't need to know. But it just makes it so much easier that when any transportation plans are made, they kind of affect the drivers who are planning on which buses to take and how to plan accordingly. Also know that there are transportation charges for events that occur after 5 o'clock, evening events, and also on the weekends, and those charges are billed directly to your Whitney Center account. I know sometimes many of you may have questions, but I've been doing my best to note which event those charges apply to. But again, once again, you can either speak to Jennifer or to me if you're unsure about them. As I said, as a reminder, there'll be bingo here today at 1:30. And of course, new to our calendar is the very enjoyable music, dance, and Get Happy program. And that will be next Monday here in the CAC as well at 2:30. Now, some of you have asked, what the heck is that all about? Well, it simply is a light heart experience of watching either well-known performers in their videos, which make them so happy and make you happy, as well as just everyday people from around the world feeling joy through dance and song. And I see that there are a few people here who have spent time in Studio 200 and will attest that they have left feeling happier than when they came in. So the doors are open for everyone. Originally, this all started for our residents up in memory support in the health center who might not be able to come in on time when things start and may be a little distracting. So we said, hey, why not? The CAC is dark for so many hours out of the week. Let's just open it up. And unfortunately, our memory center has moved. So we have a lot of more empty seats, so I encourage you to please come and you get a really great idea who the great dancers are here. And Steve Gurney, you have moves like Jagger. I saw it. I thought he was leaving, and I said, where are you going? And he said, I'm getting up to dance, Maria. And he did. So if nothing else, it's a really good time. So I am also happy to say that February will end with a very special Saturday, speaking of Steve Gurney, because on February 25th, Cabaret 4 will be another wonderful music event. It is created and moderated by our own resident, Steve Gurney. Backed by popularity, Cabaret 4 will once again provide its participants the chance to hear the stories behind the songs. So be sure to enjoy Steve's efforts next Saturday, February 25th at 3:30 p.m. So looking forward to see you there. And March will be very much an engaging month. So we got February behind us, and we're really looking forward to what's happening next. And there are a few highlights. There will be a trip to the New Britain Museum of American Art on March 1st. That will have a docent tour, which will feature a tour of the Ansel Adams exhibit. There is a $20 ticketed price for that. And on March 24th, there's an educator-led tour of the Yale Art Gallery. The Yale tours are free. I'll have a sign-up table at the bistro on Wednesday, February 22nd at 2 p.m. You can sign up, or if you're hearing now and you want to let me know that you'd like to come on those tours, you can always email me or call. There are also 3 Yale Concert Series events in March for those with tickets. Again, I mention these because transportation is involved. And again, for the consideration of the drivers, it's always best to provide your plans well in advance. Those last-minute add-ons can and will complicate things. So for the Yale Concert Series, we have Horowitz on March 8th, the Met Live Opera on Saturday, March 18th, March 28th, the Dallas Symphony will be at Yale, and I know there are some people who have tickets for that, and the Horowitz Piano Series on March 30th. There'll also be a special 7 Arts production film series here on the young Picasso, when that March date is to be determined. And then I'll end on an exciting note, because there are the most exciting things happening in March are on and off campus. On Saturday, March 9th, the performance of Goldfish, directed by our own Whitney Center resident, John Watson, will be at the New Haven Theater Company's Back Blocks Theater. That's down on Chapel Street. It is sold out to Whitney Center. There are only 40 seats in the theater, and we have 32 Whitney Center residents going. So it's very exciting. And they've been really generous. I'm not sure if John or Susan are here, but they are offering a discount ticket. So for those of you who have reserved your tickets, please contact John. You'll be paying him directly. Please pay him before the show. But do know that there is a transportation fee that will be charged per person for that evening. Also, Julie Averbach, our Yale art scholar, some of you will remember she shared her tours of the Met and MoMA. Well, she will be back with a tour, with an art tour of Paris Art de Belle Époque. However, this time it will be virtual and will be here on Thursday at March 16th. She's looking so forward to thanking you again for making her successes so possible, and that's why she wants to come back and include you in her journey. And one more artful offering is an invitation to Whitney Center residents and Thrive and Home members to participate in a public art project through Next Haven. This is the Next Haven, if you don't know, is a groundbreaking cultural institution that combines the best of art and entrepreneurship. 4 to 5 Whitney Center residents, you don't need any specific art talent at all, are invited to work with notable American artist Doug Jones on March 10th. It's a Friday evening at Next Haven. Transportation and dinner will be provided. There's no charge for this ride. And what Doug does is he works with a template that's probably like 1117, and it's just all dots. And he will instruct you with local artists from Yale and Next Haven as your apprentices. But you are the artist, and what's really wonderful about this is that he celebrates seniors and only wants members of senior communities in and around the New Haven area to participate in this. So you'll all have the opportunity of contributing, creating one component of this mural that will be on display. I've already asked them, I said, we've got walls here, let's have it here at Whitney Center. So, it's very, very, not just easy, but there is a thought process to it, and then you also have a chance of meeting other senior residents from other communities and see what they're doing too. So if you'd like to come, I need to know rather quickly, I have posted signage around asking if any of you are ready to go public. And if you are, just let me know. And that's all for now, and so much more to come to, I assure you. So who's ready to march on? Couldn't wait to say that. And I think we have some questions from Mrs. Greenbaum. Hold on, I think you need a mic.
Thank you, Maria. On
Yes, ma'am.
If you could repeat, March 1st, is that New Britain?
Yes, the New Britain American Art Museum in New Britain,
And
Connecticut.
what day of the week is that?
It's a Wednesday.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll share all of this out and send
Okay, but
email and it'll be
Is there a
posted.
charge if you're already a member?
I don't believe so, if you have a membership. Anyone else? Any questions? Okay, so without further ado, Ken? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Maria, for that very thorough and engagement report. There's certainly a lot going on here, so thank you. I just have one quick follow-up from the resident council meeting. It has to do with recycling flexible plastic. That program had been in place for quite a while, but we did suspend it due to contamination. We are going to refer that, and we're going to work with the Conservation Committee to take a look at that program. So we've already spoken with the chair of the Conservation, so we'll follow up with them. So for now, our flexible recycling program, plastic, is suspended until further notice. Thank you. Any other questions at all? Thank you. Oh.
Exactly what is flexible plastic?
Mrs. Johnson, you want to come up?
So if you can't rip it, but it's like the wrappers on your bread or the wrappers that come outside of products that you buy, all of that kind of stuff, and it can't be ripped. It's even the little things that your Ritz crackers come in, by the way.
The Conservation
Amongst
Committee
other
will do a
things.
show and tell, so that's what
You
the
know,
plan will probably be.
If you
So,
come to the next conservation meeting, I'll bring a set of examples of it to show everyone. And I can do show and tell here anytime that I'm asked. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Oh, Peggy Joyce, our VP of Clinical Services.
Good morning, everyone. So we're doing very well with COVID. I know that's the first thing everybody thinks of when they see my face. So we're doing well. Last evening or late afternoon yesterday, we did get a report of one resident that is positive. But again, we have to realize to be, as we call, COVID naive, which means we're not, like I can't say we're negative because negative means you've all been tested and you're all negative. Obviously, we're not testing people, so the CDC prefers us to say COVID naive, meaning we really don't know. But obviously, if people have symptoms, we're testing and we're finding that they're negative or positive. So far, we've gone almost a month with no cases. The 20th of January was the last positive person. So the fact that we went close to a month is truly amazing, given the large number we had at one point. So again, looking around, seeing all of you masked, thank you, because I think we're doing everything we can possibly do to mitigate any type of spread of the infection. I think in small groups, you're okay without masking, but in a large group like this, I'm going to continue to ask you to mask at least for the next month or two. We know that this virus likes cold weather, so it's rampant in February. As March begins to get a little warmer, we should see a decline in the greater New Haven and state communities. But that's what we follow. We look at how much infection is out in the community. So again, thank you so much for keeping us as COVID naive as we can be. Anyone with questions? By the way, if you go to Meadow Mills, which is now our memory support defined area or the health center, you do have to wear a mask. It is state mandated. So if you're going to visit your friends and neighbors in the health center, or if you do venture across the street to Meadow Mills, masking is required. Any questions about Judy? Hold on one second, we're going to get you a microphone.
Yes, I wanted to ask, we had boosters, COVID boosters in October. October 11 was the last one I had. And I have to show that when I'm going on a trip soon. And I wondered if a booster is needed fairly soon?
So I'm following what the recommendations are from all the smart people out there from the CDC and Department of Public Health. At this point, they're not recommending continued boosters because they say you can get it every 2 months. So I will tell you, if you're really immunocompromised and you're really not a well adult, you might want to reach out to your physician for their advice to see if they want you to get a booster. But the general population, including seniors, it looks like they're going to probably go to an annual vaccine, which is great news as long as this holds. A lot of people have asked me, well, most of you were boosted in October, and then we had that huge peak. But again, most of you fared well through that. I won't say you all, didn't have symptoms, because many of you it did knock you out. I understand that. But again, there was very little negative outcomes for that. And that's really the goal of the booster, is to keep you as, death is it's not imminent anymore now, that we have had 2.5 years of managing COVID. We know with these boosters, it does prevent deaths, especially in the senior population. So again, I will continue to follow. As soon as I hear you should go get a booster, I'll communicate that to you. But at this point, that's not the recommendation.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Can you tell us how many of our sixth-floor residents have moved over to Meadow Mills?
Yeah, so
And I'm also questioning what's on K4, because I noticed in a couple of instances, the people who've moved over, their address has changed, but in some instances it hasn't. And does each pod have a name, like garden or something else? And could you explain that a little bit?
Yep.
Thank
So
you.
I was moving on to that next, Chris. You must have read my little cheat sheet here. I just wanted to make sure everybody was good with COVID before I moved on. So I always give an update on Meadow Mills. I'm very happy to say that we've continued to transition our residents from the sixth floor there. 2 more residents one went Monday, one went Tuesday. The transitions have been seamless, in large part thanks to the team that's receiving our residents and the liaisons. I can't say enough about how involved the liaisons have been with the move. They're the resident contact. So moving them from here to across the street can be very difficult, especially with people that are having brain change. So having that familiar face has made all the difference in the world. Our residents have transitioned so well. Whenever I'm over there, which is a couple times a week, I'm making sure I'm checking in on our residents to make sure that they're adjusting appropriately, and it's really been seamless. So as of this moment, there are 3 residents on our memory support unit currently up on the 6th floor, and everybody will be moved off that unit as of February 22nd. So it's almost, we're almost there. Next week, everybody will have moved. So again, I'm very happy at how this whole thing played out. And again, we wanted to make it the best experience for the residents. That was really our goal. So a lot of thought and effort went into the transition. Our team members that have been working up on the 6th floor have also all transitioned over to Meadow Mills. For the 3 residents upstairs, it's staff that's still up there managing those. It's only 1 person to manage the 3 residents, and they're residents, they're staff members that have been, on the unit before, but they're not necessarily assigned just to the 6th floor. So it really has helped our staffing. I know a lot of people have heard me say, workforce has been an issue at Meadow Mills. We are so much better today than we've been. We've hired lots of great people. We hired 2 new LPNs, which really has been helping our weekend nursing. It was a crisis when we first went there. It's no longer in that realm. We have some really good employees, team members over there now. A lot of interest from our current staff here wanting to go over there. So we've been a little ginger because we certainly still need our staff here too. So we're making sure we're giving them opportunity to learn across the street, but we certainly will make sure we manage all the staff here that you all need on our campus. The other thing that we're going to do is starting Tuesday of next week, the 21st, we're going to have Tuesday tours. I know Melissa mentioned you can call, but we're going to try to do some unified tours where we're going to allow 6 residents to sign up on Tuesdays from 1:30 to 2:30, and we're going to be able to take a bus of 6 residents there, and we're going to be happy to show you around, and you'll be able to see what we've been talking about since October. So I'm very excited. I'm generally over at Meadow Mills on Tuesdays, so I'll be there. Karen, Michelle, will all be there. Maureen Foley is our Director of Marketing. We're all going to be there to welcome you and show you what we're so excited about at Meadow Mills. So please sign up. It might take a while because we are limiting each week to 6, but we'd love all of you to come and see us. And then certainly not last, but I want to make sure I extend from Michelle Pandolfi and I, we had a change in one of our team members. So Susanna Puzo, who many of you know, she's been at the North Desk for many months and into years. She had approached me. She transitioned into being the healthcare administrative assistant some time ago. She wanted a growth opportunity, and I was quick to hire her in that position, knowing the caliber of person that I was going to be receiving. She came to me in December and said, I really, really miss the resident contact. Is there something that I could do to have more contact? Even though she was in contact with the health center residents, she was missing all of you, to be honest. When you're at the North Desk, you infiltrate those desks and you become, a partner with her. So I asked her to kind of dream the dream and let me know what she thought of. What would make her happy and also help the organization at large. And she came back to me and said, I would love to work with the liaisons. So, of course, I reached out to Michelle Pandolfi. We kind of dreamed our dream of how that could work. Mike was in full support of allowing this opportunity for her. So she is now splitting her time. She's still our administrative support in healthcare. She does the entire healthcare. And then 20 hours a week, she's going to be supporting the community resource team. So I just wanted to let you know you're going to be seeing a lot more of her. She's been working a lot lately with Debbie and Mary and Wanda. But, please welcome her into that role. I know most of you know her, but Suzanne, would you just stand up? So give everybody a wave. So congratulations to Suzanne. She really is, she was a keeper. I wanted to make her happy too. And I think this is so far a really great fit for her. Any other questions? Oh, I will mention, I think I had shared Patty Simmel is semi-retired. She's here a day or two a week, just kind of helping us keep going. But we are interviewing for her positions. We've interviewed 2 people so far. Neither one were good candidates for us, so we continue to look. As much as we want to fill that position, we want to fill it with the right person. So it might take us some time because we all know there are not many registered nurses out in the world these days. So just bear with us. Natalie Chabot is really managing so much here, and Michelle Stocking managing as well. So if you have any concerns or anything you think is falling through the crack, I hope that's not happening because I'm trying to keep on top of it, but please just reach out to me and I can investigate. Any other questions for healthcare? Alda?
How many residents do we have now over at the health center?
The health center?
How many
We average around
residents?
30.